MakingStarWars.com. How's it going, everybody? I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And I think today I'm going to be joined by Rob and Max, but I did not get the invites out to them until like 30 seconds ago. So I was working on a ridiculous end theme song for the show, got it done and uploaded at the very last second. So we are in. So pretty funny story, because literally as this interview takes place, me and Bespin Fullerton, just kidding, you're not a Fullerton, you're a pretty smart guy, but me and Bespin Bulletin are hanging around on the Fortnite machine. We're shooting people. He's carrying me on his back, like, you know, and he's like, you know, like almost like a bride going through the threshold. You know, it's kind of how Bespin carries me. Hey, how's it going, dude?
Hey, I made it.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, this is the 15th anniversary of talking about the Lando series, isn't it?
Series, yeah. So yesterday I'm hanging out with Bespin Bulletin. We're playing Fortnite. He's carrying me on his back like a bride that he's stolen, you know, like in Russia or something. And we
bad timing, bro.
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, who cares about the Russians right now? I mean, come on, they got it coming. But anyways, we start talking about Lando. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, people ask me about Lando like all the time. And we probably talked for about an hour yesterday about how I'm like, could they just be trying to procure the rights to Billy D's digital likeness? You know what I mean? Is it really just about that? Is this going to happen? On the show we had been talking about yesterday, while, you know, you were out with your lovely wife, probably doing a Lady and the Tramp style, like spaghetti kiss. I imagine that's what you guys do. And we were just like, man, like what's going on with it? And then Jimmy Kimmel, he asked him, and then Donald Glover talked about it, and then the Hootie Tootie Disco Cutie showed up that I invited really late. How's it going? Sorry for the late invite today. I was working on some bullshit.
It's okay. And I was actually early today. That happens. Like when I'm early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're late.
When you're early, then I'm late.
And then when I'm late, you're always on time.
Then I'm pregnant. Yeah.
I'm Wilma Wonka today.
oh, Wilma Wonka.
Because I want a Wonka.
So anyways, what I did was Baymax was nice enough to pull the clip for me. I took that and I edited it down. I edited it into a little tiny. I feel like the that guy on Buck Rogers. Anyways, I edited out the little bits of the fat, if you will, to try to get it into like that fair use time frame when you take things from the old talk shows. They tend to flag your show and get it taken down.
Yeah.
So I cut it down, and I think I kept the intent here. So here's the clip of Donald Glover on Kimmel last night.
You're working on a new Lando project for Disney Plus right now.
Am I?
No.
Yeah, I'm. You know, I have a lot of things. I like to blossom and then go. I have like a ton of stuff I've been working on, but I just wanted to feel. I just wanted it all to come out at the same time.
So that I don't think somebody in the Disney family of things that Kimmel would say you're doing a show for Disney Plus if he wasn't doing a show for Disney Plus, because we never knew if Donald Glover was involved.
Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, that we were talking about it yesterday too.
Right. We manifested it as
perfect timing. Yeah.
Bespin Bulletin said. And he wrote me like really early in my time and said, we manifested this, Jason. And I just wrote back, rich models. Let's get rich model girlfriends. And then we changed it to Natalie Portman's Rich Sisters. Mm-hmm. Then he changed it to Daisy Ridley's Rich Sisters because he needs to make it more local. And I agree with all of this. I think it's all going to happen now. Awesome. I think we have infinite chaos magic. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard. I watched Meg this morning, and I heard that, and I was just like, oh, we were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good timing. So that confirms that we do have Donald Glover back as Lando, and that it's
Yeah, we
happening now. Yeah. What's that,
Kaneda
George?
like to call it Kaneda like to call it Lando festing. If you
You
say it enough,
go.
you can Lando fest it out into the world.
You
And
go,
that's
Rob.
how we got him in Empire, actually.
Lando Fest 2022 is what you're saying?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Now,
Liam
now what
Brackett
year?
wasn't too keen on the whole thing, but you know, no imagination.
I don't think this comes out. I honestly, yesterday, I was of the mindset they were going to make it happen in some way, but I don't think it's like 2024 to 2025. I hope I'm completely
What,
wrong.
this series?
Yeah.
Yeah, this series ain't happening anytime soon. when he says you gotta look, I've done this a few times. You know, I've had to talk around things, and when he says, "I just, it's I want it all to come out around the same time," what does that mean? Like that's some weird. That's some weird, like, hey, here's why you haven't heard about it. Can't say nothing. We're working it. It's all happening. Things going down. You know, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Like, I'm not
Well,
saying it ain't happening. I'm saying if it happens, it's a ways off. Like,
that dodge is a hard read. I mean, for a couple of reasons. And the first is that there's no way in hell that all of these various things that he's doing all come out at the same time. Childish Gambino I think he confirmed he has something from that coming out. All of this stuff won't come out at the same time. But I think he kind of comes at it from a perspective of he likes to have a big media. I think his plan is kind of what he's alluding to, is a big media blitz on the stuff that he does. And then as soon as you've almost had enough of Donald Glover, just you're like, okay, we're pretty good here with the Glover. He goes away, goes into his creative space, writes all of his stuff, and then comes back. I think that's sort of what he was dodging into. And but I just don't know if we're gonna see the Lando show, that Lando series come out with any of this other stuff. It doesn't really make sense. I think Bestman was telling me he signed a big deal with Peacock, so he has like exclusivity rights or whatever, and he's developing shows for Amazon too. But I think he has his future is going to be all about Peacock for a time. And we were talking about like, what does that mean? And we're going back and forth. And I'm like, I have to think that when you sign a deal like that, anything you had from before doesn't get nullified. So like, I think those become the exceptions. And
super skeptical, Jason. Everyone's excited. I'm the guy who's like, I don't know about this one. Man.
We don't have
about this one.
we don't have like a production start date or anything like that.
I don't even think they have scripts. If you want my opinion, well,
that is the big question right there. Is Donald Glover writing the scripts to his own Lando show? Is that realistic? He could do it. No, he could do it though. He has the ability. He could. He's writing a ton of TV right now. Yeah. But with that in mind,
he's got the talent.
Would that maybe imply? I believe he's going to have some hand in this is just my belief. It's not anything based off of anything, but I believe he has some hand in the creative process on this one. I think at the Disney Plus, I don't want to say level, that sounds condescending, but they're willing to take a risk on a Donald Glover having some creative input. I bet you he does. And so what if Donald Glover came up with what he wanted Lando to do, his idea, made a couple page treatment, tossed that over to the hired writer of the piece, and then they've been, just binging away at the keys there, getting out, scripts and ideas, and so maybe it's not as far off as we would think, just because we haven't heard anything about it. I'm trying to be
it's a year from whenever they shoot it. It's a year from whenever they shoot. Yeah, but
exactly.
When I say it's off a ways, I'm not being negative. Like, I'm just being realistic, folks. Like, it's just hard because, when they would announce a video game, if that thing didn't come out the day of or within 3 months, people are like, "Where's the game? Where's the game going, bro? What's going on?" I had to hear that. a 6-month window for Spyro from the time they announced it to it shipped. And 3 months into that announcement, I was getting like emails from like reporters. Oh, would you like to speak about the delay of the game? It's just like, what
Yeah.
delay? It's so weird. So Lord knows what they have to deal with. I unless if they don't talk about it directly at Celebration, this is a 2025 deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Just letting everyone know,
Most
because it's a
likely.
year away from whenever they shoot. Like that's just visual effects and the way Lucasfilm used to be doing things at Disney Plus. They finish it, visual effects about a year, even Mando about a year. So if they went into production this summer, which just doesn't sound like they're gonna do,
Yeah.
that means they're going into production next spring, winter-ish, at the earliest, right? Or summer 2024. I just got to imagine, like it's just weird on Kimmel and them because they are geeks, right? Like, and they'll just, hey, I got Donald Glover on. I'm a Star Wars fan. I got to mention it, And I don't know if they do rehearsals with actors like Donald Glover, if he just comes on. With the bigger because
No, I've been to Kimmel. I went to Kimmel for the Star Wars stuff, and we were out there for a long time. I bet you there's definitely like a close relationship between the PR and Kimmel's people and stuff like that. Like when it was one time Kimmel talked to me about spoiling Star Wars when I was in the audience. And he talked to me for probably a minute or two, and it ended up not being on the show. And but afterwards, the PR people were like, "We saw you talking to Jimmy." Like I got DMs from them. We saw you talking to a Jimmy behind the curtain. So it just goes to show you in a way like how close those things are in that environment. But
all right, well then the way he's sort of
what I'm saying is,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think that question was sprung on him in secret.
I think it's a way of just confirming that the project's still on and that he's the main character or the whatever, right? He said he was the main.
Well, he's Lando. Yeah, I have a hard time. I have a hard time imagining that Kimmel just pulled that out of his ass on the fly in the moment. Like I said, most of the questions, most of the things that they hit on are all worked out, beforehand. So, his response to it though was like,
and if he couldn't answer it, he wouldn't. I don't think he would have answered it.
But they said it. We are talking about Jimmy Kimmel right now. We're talking about Donald Glover right now, and they didn't say a fucking thing.
They didn't say anything. Well, what he did imply though, what I sort of feel is like, look, if Disney or Lucas or whatever, if Kathleen Kennedy said, we'd like to make the show, but Donald's busy, everyone would be getting mad at Donald Glover. Free up your schedule, Donald, right? But if it is true, like he's got other obligations first, then when he says, I like to everything line up, to me, that's like, hey, I'm waiting for my schedule to free up before we kind of do it kind of thing, right? And that's like the nicest way of putting it without saying, blame me.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a little bit of PR in his response too. Like for certain, let's look at
it from that perspective a little bit. If you are Donald Glover, you have played Lando Calrissian in the last couple of years. There's a Lando show coming out, and nobody said a fucking word about it at all. And you're doing PR now for your new stuff. You're going to be asked it a lot. It's going to be a question.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be them kind of getting out in front of it and just saying, yeah, I am going to be Lando again. When that happens, that will be me. And if I didn't say anything on Jimmy Kimmel, I'm not going to say anything to you. You know what I mean? It really could kind of be that way. Obviously, it might be reading way too much into it, but I went to both of the Star Wars shows that they did for the sequel trilogy, or at least the first two. I didn't do the third. I don't know if they did a third one. I didn't go to it if they did a third one. But man, that guy is professional as fuck. I mean, I know it's like an obvious he's Jimmy Kimmel, he's like a late night guy, but like you see him cut the TV ads for the various markets that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing, but it felt like he dropped down like a promo like 15 times in a row, just like boom, 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 like lightning speed. Perfect. Every single time for every market, like one take, just nails it. It's pretty amazing. I mean, to be that good at hosting. I'm just a Russian bride being digging over a threshold. So when I see that guy do it, I'm like, you're amazing.
You're a Russian bride?
I'm a Russian bride. I'm Bespin Bulletin's Russian bride. He carries me around on his back all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You weren't involved in the war, right?
No. I no. Star Wars Anna says to deploy the likes and jingle the notification bell. So do it. Are you here?
Puns.
No.
Puns.
Yeah, and subscribe to the channel, like the video,
Tickle the
channel
dingle.
tickle the dingle, and you can become a channel member if you want to support the show, and or a Patreon supporter. And I upload the audio to the Patreon version, but I'll give you the link to the audio RSS feed if you're a channel member, because I'm nice. And I appreciate the support. Nolan says, right away, Mr. Claus, no coal for me this year. So yeah, and then Rick Jones knows my super secret name of Striker. Sup nerds, the Talking Sith. Why, what have we here? And then Talking Sith. It's strange when Jason talks in the third person. Yeah, it is. Jason loves you. Jason loves Star Wars, and Jason loves talking about it. Hey, Matt, Gabe, how's it going? But yeah, anyways, we
Stuff
are
your subscriptions or no, Dad screwed that one up. Stuff your stockings with subscriptions.
Yeah.
I got a little excited there.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're allowed. It's your anniversary week. You know, what are you gonna do?
Get older.
Get older.
Get older. We had breakfast takeout because we refused to go into any store right now, or restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And I figured, well, it's Tuesday. You know, this is a place you always like going.
Mhm.
And eggs Benny and blueberry pancakes. Brought it home, and I eat so little real sugar.
Wait, did you just call Eggs Benedict Eggs Benny?
Yeah,
You're the coolest
So it
guy
doesn't
I
sound like
know.
I'm eating
You're the coolest
Eggs
guy I
Benny.
know.
Benny the
You're
cat,
like,
right?
so wait, is this a show right now, or is this a sesh?
Huh? Oh, Szechuan. So you're just getting me excited for Szechuan, Jason. Don't do this. So anyway, man, had some pancakes. I'm out in 5 minutes. Like, I mean, that's why I text you. I'm like,
Pancakes.
Huh?
He said
pancakes.
pancakes. He said pancakes.
everything's a pun. We're just punned out today. But
She was like, wait, how long have you been married for?
Puntober. I don't know. Like,
Am I asking you? Am I
It's been
putting
a
you on the
while.
spot by asking you that?
almost 10 years now. Right, it's good.
Almost 10 years?
That's
All
a
right.
century.
8 years.
That's a
But
long
we've been
time.
together since 2004. So.
Okay.
That's a long time in human years.
So she knows what she got into.
Good for you.
You know what? Every day I wonder. Now, you would think even now, oh, that's Rob. No, I get that. Really, this is what you're up to. So yeah.
You find out after all this time she's actually face blind, and that's why she doesn't see all of your sarcastic shit that would probably make any other woman just walk away. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
happily.
No.
But 1.5 blueberry pancakes and I'm out. Like I was
Yeah.
done for. Like tapped.
Sleepy? Did it put you to sleep?
Yeah, asleep all day. Dogs were happy.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. All right. But so Lando. So
No.
I
Yeah.
mean, are we to imply that if he comes back, then at some point Alden will come back, or do you think they'll face replace him?
Well, okay, so no. I don't think you get Donald Glover to be your glorified stand-in. I don't think that would make any sense at all. So I'm going to say de-aged digital Lando is likely off the table. That wouldn't make. I don't think that makes any sense. He's a huge star.
I mean, Alden Ehrenreich as Solo,
Right.
though. Like if
But-
Solo shows up in
yeah.
a cameo, is that Alden or is that a face replacement?
I think it's Alden. I think if it's Glover, it's Alden. I think I could be wrong, but I mean it would be God, it would seem like if he was available, it would seem like a huge slap in the face if all of a sudden Harrison Ford is playing Han Solo, young Han Solo, in this show. And I've heard people. Somebody was asking. I don't see where it's at right now, but we'll get to it. But somebody was asking, "Is this Mando time, or is this not Mando time? Is this Is this the Dark Times, Star Wars?" And
It's peanut butter jelly time.
my preference would be anything before A New Hope. They use those actors. Anything after, feel free to CGI them. That would be.
Let me tell you what I think.
One idea, but
it's fucking Lobot time, bro. This is where him and
Lobot
Lobot team up.
Yeah,
and they prove their mettle. You know, we get the Lobot, we get the crew. We somehow figure out that there's a lot of money in gas. You know.
Wait, are you talking about the Tabana gas mine?
The Taco Bella gas mine, right?
Oh, that sounds great.
Beans, Lando, it's in beans.
Wouldn't it be great if High Pitch Eric was the new voice of Mickey Mouse for Disney?
I'm Mickey. I like pancakes. I think it would work with that crazy animation they do now with Mickey, which I love, by the way. They do that crazy, almost Ren and Stimpy style.
Yeah.
And where everyone's kind of ugly and fucking wacky and shit. Like, they got to get high. Like, someone take a clip of that Mickey and put High Pitch right over it. It's going to line up perfectly.
Chandler says Glover was great, and I think they go the route I'm hoping with Billy D telling stories, narrating, and Donald acting them out. That narrative kind of idea, what I just in the Lucasfilm sphere call the Young Indiana Jones TV version of things, where you had old Indiana Jones setting up the stories, and then Sean Patrick Flannery playing the young Indy usually. And that kind of method, I will say, I could see it happening, but it has become it's considered very 90s. It's a bit passe, I would say. You don't really see that anymore.
We're in the 90s.
We are kind of still in the 90s, yeah. We are. Yeah. Everyone else, not so much.
Did you not see Batman, Jason? Like,
oh, that's true. It had a Nirvana song in it. Yeah, you're right. And Batman's back. Nirvana's back. Guy who plays in a band with Foo Fighter with Dave Grohl died from drugs probably this week. Yeah, it's the 90s. Well, nothing's changed. It's all the same. But anyways, would they do that kind of narrative structure in any time soon or ever? And I'm not sure. I don't really, you don't really see that anymore, which could mean it's time, or it could mean it's just not going to happen, obviously. But yeah, it's a really good it's a good angle on things. When Bestman and I were talking yesterday, we're like, what if it is an anthology series of Lando's life, or what if it's really just a vehicle to get Jannah back? That's what we were talking about. But then I was kind of like of the opinion Jannah didn't really make very much of an impression in episode 9. She was cut down to nothing. It would take more work to remind everybody that Jannah was in episode 9 than to just forget about it and do something else. So I'm kind of curious if they will ever do anything more with Jannah, or if she just becomes a footnote of an idea. I'm not saying they should or they shouldn't. I don't know. It depends on what kind of ideas they have.
Jannah Bush.
She was supposed to be Lando's daughter. That's where they were.
You didn't hear what I said.
I heard Jannah Bush.
We're talking right through it.
Yeah, I mean, we can't acknowledge this.
Sick of it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Anyways, no, I'm not sick of it. But anyways, he goes on, and she goes on into that movie as pretty much no point at all. Just other than she became not Rose. Is what she became, right? Not Rose. And so I wouldn't mind if they picked up on the character and made her important, and then I felt like, hey, at least we got Jannah out of that mess. If I felt like that, then that would be good. But right now, I just go, Jannah, what was the point? What was the point of any of her? Why did you do that? Because Finn used to be a stormtrooper? you didn't pick up on the idea. We could actually look at the Duel of the Fates script if we assume that J.J. Abrams even read it, which I think it's safe to say he did. The Duel of the Fates Trevorrow script, that one right there, they really deal with the concept.
I read it, and it wasn't very good.
The
dialogue wasn't very good at all. So we put in Skywalkers and swords.
Wait, is that Sal Rosenberg?
No, it's J.J. Abrams. Abrams.
But they actually dealt with the stormtrooper topic and concept in that one, and then this one completely just threw it away. So yeah, it's a really kind of a big mystery on that front, and that was the big assumption because Billy D was saying, I think Billy, unless my memory is crazy now, which might be, but I remember Billy D saying, I'm doing something with them. We got something else for Lando. And so the assumption has been that Lando is a part of this. But I gotta tell you, just gonna be honest, I hope Billy D. Williams lives to be 300, but I don't know how long he will be making movies for. I'm not gonna go.
Suggested Billy D. be in 300. Actually, that was my. Zach didn't understand. He's right on the screen kicking ass.
What? I'm so confused.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I'm trying to remember what he sounds like.
You gotta be a nerdy white guy to get it, Max.
I'm trying to remember what JJ sounds like. I know he
I'm not doing the actual voices, Max. Oh, like there's no. He doesn't have a recognizable. He doesn't. It just sounds like his writing. It's actually, for nobody and everybody.
I did hear somebody imitate him, and it was really good.
But we're just turning everybody into Jerky Boys characters. So
Abrams.
Yeah, he's all, I got a magic box.
Yeah, I name me. I say it like Roger Rabbit. You know, that's how I do.
So
hey, look, if they want to do it, I just the problem is I watched Meg's video when she announced it because she's always great at getting right to the point, unlike me.
Yeah.
But she did say it was like I guess that's tied into what Shadows of the Sith is all about. That book.
No,
is that true?
Okay. Love Meg. I think she's doing a good job here of just connecting things together.
Right, okay.
By the time this series comes out, no one will fucking remember what Shadows of the Sith was. It will be so off. Like
it should be the highest selling fucking book ever. Jack Crow for
no. I would love for that.
Every time I say it,
I would love for that. No, but I mean, even the best selling Star Wars book we've had, no one fucking remembers 2 years later.
Which one?
Exactly. Yeah. So
hey, look, I will be dying on the Star Wars Ronin Hill till the end.
Oh shit! I still need to get that book that I will read. I promise. I'll tell you when I get it.
I don't believe you, Max. I think you just have a fucking bookshelf and you're like, look at me, I'm so smart.
Actually, I do.
Look, I'm very learned and read.
Learned.
Yeah.
I like learned. When you pronounce it.
No.
I do. I'll take a picture of it too. Ask me if I read them, and I will say some of them.
No.
Some I just look at the pictures.
It's more than JJ.
Oh shit. No, but he did. Anyways, Jana didn't end up really doing anything. Billy D, I don't know how much longer he will be acting for. At some point, he will probably retire, and I don't want to go down the dark road. Billy's just gonna die. Like how people. I think he will probably hit a point where he's like, I'm not doing that shit anymore. And so I don't know how much longer they have to utilize the man. I mean, he's in his 80s, and he's given us a lot. So if he comes back as Lando, rad. But if he doesn't, I would not blame him for not wanting to spend his twilight years here hanging out on a film set in El Segundo. And then, but that's but the big question ends up being is when does this take place? And
they don't even have good coffee in El Segundo. Like I've been there. You're like
you don't know what? No, you don't. You don't know the coffee places, my friend.
He pulls
Speaking
up
of coffee, I don't mean to change it. Just real quick, have y'all had the Willy Wonka creamer?
No, I drink my coffee black.
No, they have sugar free in case.
Do they?
Yeah. Rob, I was gonna tell you about it. I don't know if you saw it. It's really good.
It's Willy Wonka creamer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but
It's a
what is
limited edition. It's
but, but like what is a Willy Wonka flavor? I mean, he's
well,
got
no, it's
gobstoppers, he's got chocolate, he's got all kinds of shit coming out of
no,
his
it's
factory.
a scrumdiddlyumptious something. It's really
It's the
good.
Ned Flanders coffee creamer.
It
Yeah.
sounds like it, huh?
You're
Scrumdiddly neighbor.
jealous. You're just jealous.
I mostly drink my coffee black though, so sometimes I have a little bit of the sugar-free vanilla we keep around the house. You know,
Yeah.
a little, but I don't like it when I can't taste the coffee.
No, it's good.
So-
I lightly put it.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
I'll keep
Yeah.
an eye out for it, Max. I always
no,
welcome
just
a
no,
suggestion.
no.
But
just
but
don't worry
who
about it.
who makes it? Like
We're burnt.
which-
Max scorched
It's
earth. Max
International
never
Delight.
suggesting. Sorry.
Is the name of the company International
Delight.
Delight. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. I just got used to all drinks. So I'm fat enough, so I just drink all my drinks with no sugar added. Like I'm gonna drink like diet sodas, and I'm gonna drink coffee and iced tea without.
No, they have,
anything
like
in
I
it.
said, they have no
They have
sugar.
them? Hmm.
Yeah.
sounds
Jason and
fine.
I are on the same page. The problem I have with pre-made creamers, Max, is they sometimes have stabilizers and stuff in them, and I can't account for what that might do to my diet. So,
Stabilizer.
but
Oh, really?
yeah, like preservative things that they put in to stabilize and keep it preserved and stuff.
Oh.
So like
Well,
that's
then
why
don't
like I
drink
just deal with.
it. I'll drink it
well,
and I'll
I'm-
tell you how
look,
good it is.
I have no doubt. You know, that's why me betting Chris to eat Jack in a Box is a real big deal, because I'm like, man, the damage this is gonna do to my insides, like, so fragile. I had 1.5 blueberry pancakes. I passed right out because
Well,
the amount of sugar that goes into normal food just.
are you that? You're
punch in
that
the face.
sensitive to? Are you that sensitive?
Ever
to
since
food?
I cut out most of it, yeah, I
Okay.
cut out a lot of
I
it.
don't-
I mean,
I don't
so
know
I
your diet.
still, yeah, I cut out a lot of. I used to be super hardcore keto, but when for about several years, but when the COVID thing hit, it was impossible. So now it's just low. I just make everything. You know, I just don't whatever. Anyhow, this is not an interesting conversation for
Okay,
folks.
sorry.
but-
What would it be more interesting, and would it maybe work for you without stabilizers if I drank the cream and then lactated it into your mouth?
You know, Mark Hamill already beat you to that. I told him that was my favorite scene, and he hooked Rob up. So
Baymax says afternoon Colt. Yeah, thanks everybody and Baymax for being a channel member, and Star Wars Anthony and everybody who is happy to be here. I appreciate it a lot.
Hey, James.
And Tibor, hey, how's it doing? How's it going, dude? That dude is so cool. I'd watch a show about him just walking around. Just give him cool adventures and go. I hope they don't overthink it. Yeah.
yes,
I mean, that's exactly. I think that's where I am kind of in a way. I do like the idea of a post Return of the Jedi Lando show where he doesn't, there's still adventures to have, but he doesn't have to be a rebel. He doesn't have to, he's just maybe trying to find what to do with his life after the Empire and stuff like that. And then you can have him get intertwined with our heroes in the Mandalorian series. Like if they did go that way, I would not be mad. I would never be mad or disappointed to see Donald Glover in the Mandalorian and stuff like that as Lando. It wouldn't be bad. It would be good, like almost for sure, I think. But at the same time, I feel like he's like a Lando in an era. Like he's Lando in that pre Luke Skywalker era.
I think that's where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's probably a little confusing. Maybe. I don't know.
if
It's
it was
like,
somewhere between like an Ocean's 11 and that Maverick movie, remember,
Yeah.
like where they're like gambling and stealing poker games and stuff, and then heisting things, like that's the kind of stuff, it comes to mind immediately for me. So
I mean, because like if you're gonna watch, let's say, Return of the Jedi, and then watch The Mandalorian, and then watch Lando, and seeing Harrison Ford, and then seeing Billy D, and then see Donald Glover, like,
Yeah.
no, Max, we're way past that. I mean, I don't agree with that at all, because that's like saying hey, Ewan McGregor doesn't look like Alec Guinness. He looks Alec Guinness, but I've never seen a movie with Alec Guinness in it before out of Star Wars and been like, that's Ewan McGregor. Like they're clearly two different actors. So
Yeah, but it's a different time.
Sure.
It's like if you put
Oh, you mean if he's older instead of younger?
Yeah, if you saw
I see what you mean.
a New
mistook
Hope and
that.
then
Yeah,
it's just a different face.
Yeah, this has to take place before Empire.
Yeah, that's the big thing is is there any methodology to any of this, or is it just what's right for the project? Because like up to a point, you would think anything pre-Empire, Donald Glover, anything post, maybe digital Billy D or Billy D if he's of the right age, if it's sequel trilogy era. I mean, those are like two ways of one way of going about it, but at the same time, like would I mind if they made a CGI Alec Guinness for anything post A New Hope and anything before was Ewan? I would probably do it that way if I was in charge. I wouldn't mind that either, but at the same time, I mean, like, you have Ewan McGregor and you have Donald Glover, and they're both really capable, good actors. So I'm kind of like of the opinion that like maybe you just go with whatever's best for the project at the time, and people will figure it out. I mean, I turn on a Batman movie and there's a different Batman every fucking time I fart. And I'm never confused that it's Batman or if it's Bruce Wayne. So I think we could get past it probably.
I get that.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing like with 007.
Yeah.
But the only reason I'm saying that is because Star Wars fans are the way they are.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, I wouldn't mind if there was like a methodology to it, but also at a certain point over time, it's safe to say Donald Glover will get old, as will Ewan McGregor. At some point, Donald Glover will be older than Lando was when Billy D played Lando originally.
Get a facelift.
Say it ain't so.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's just the way this is. So we are going to end up with over time, and if by some magical chance we do keep an on-screen canon for, let's be ridiculous and say 40 years, well, we're going to have several people playing Lando. You know what I'm saying? Every 10 years, you'll probably have a different Lando.
Yeah.
And it will be in canon if they should manage to do that, if it does work that way. And over in the big picture. So I guess at a certain point, you just got to go like, different people.
Unless we have them in perpetuity,
Yeah.
We get them in perpetuity, and we can keep them that way forever, Jason. Like,
it turns out Star Wars fans don't know what in perpetuity means, so they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah,
they can just do.
They also don't know. They also don't know what Episode 1 means. Some of them thought it was a fucking sequel to Jedi. So I had to deal with that.
Fuck you, George. Fuck you, George.
I was like, I put Episode 1 in the title. Like, I don't.
James Washington says, "Hey Jason, check my Twitter message. About Obi-Wan guest in London. Very cryptic and odd. Seems to be some weird secret." So James says, a Twitter message says, "It burns when I pee." What should I? Why are you telling me this, James?
That.
No, I'm kidding.
Jason.
James was super nice and he sent me the Donald Glover information while I was sleeping. I haven't checked any of my Twitter DMs, so I'm just seeing this now. But thank you, James. I appreciate that, dude. I always appreciate when people make sure I don't miss anything. So the London Film and Comic Con says major Obi-Wan Kenobi guests being announced tonight. So tune in at 7 p.m. So we know it's not Liam Neeson. And then they show Blank will be appearing in the and then it's like basically like this picture of Darth Vader.
It's Kidster.
Did you say Kidster? Because it's
Kidster.
Kidster. You have some respect for one of the most iconic Star Wars characters George Lucas ever wrote with his pen.
Jason's going girlfriend mode.
It's going to be called Billy the Kidster, but they didn't
like
it.
Do you ever think about that, Rob? There was like a day when like Lucas had a yellow legal pad and he wrote Kitster, and he went, "Fuck yeah, I'm keeping this."
I was just watching Knight Rider, and I thought, you know what, that really is very Star Warsy. So I'm making my money off it. You know. And then we're gonna stick his AI into a pod in a future series.
So they like blink it out. They say Blank will be appearing in the upcoming Disney Plus show Obi-Wan Kenobi as the body of the unmasked Darth Vader. Well, the body of the unmasked Darth Vader, that's Hayden Christensen, you morons. It's not top secret.
Well, or it's John Wayne's grandkid.
But remember my story about the three different people playing Darth Vader?
Yes.
It is interesting in the context of this that if they do say as the body of the unmasked Darth Vader, they make a designation. I think that's for a reason. But James is like, okay, this is interesting. Might just be Hayden, but why this a secret all of a sudden? And yeah, I mean, it's really gonna be Hayden. If they say the unmasked one is, and we know who the other two performers are. So yeah, that's really weird. Is this is it? Rick Jones was the one who asked, is it in the time of the Mandalorian? And I gotta say, I wouldn't be mad, but I'm just gonna go with let's doubt it. Let's go with I'm gonna go with the assumption. You guys go with whatever you want. I'm gonna go with the assumption that it's in that Obi-Wan Kenobi 10 years before A New Hope timeline. We do leave Lando having just lost the Millennium Falcon in the movie. Things aren't going well for him at the end.
Let me tell you,
Han Solo cheats him out of the Falcon at the end, and he was up on his luck, but we see him kind of in that movie just sort of on a decline the whole time. The Falcon's booted and everything. You know what I mean? It's not going well. So there is a story there.
There's a real negative side to me that says they set it on the Tabana mining company and he wants to run it with respect.
Oh,
and it's boring for about 4 episodes, and then the Mandalorian comes in and saves the show.
Yeah.
And they're just out there catching gas. You know, him and Lobot are out there in those little dual cars, those little Bestman cars, and you know they're just scooping up gas.
When we have like movies, like one of the things that JJ talks about a lot, like if you want to hear JJ have smart analysis, look at when JJ talks about Jaws, like what Jaws is really about. It's like not about a shark and stuff. Like he's really good at that kind of analysis.
Jaws 2 was about money.
Jaws 2 was about money. Jaws 3D though, it was about the art. Jaws 3D. I like to
call it Jaws LOM.
But anyways, where I'm going with this is that I am going somewhere with it. Is that movies
so
like George says, it's not about spaceships, right? It's actually about something else, but then people get hyper focused on the glitz of something. Like Ghostbusters is about in my opinion, it's about an American startup. It's a startup company. It's 3 guys going into business for themselves. One guy's gullible, one guy's a shyster, and one guy's the brains. And that's how it starts. And then you get Ernie Hudson, who's just the everyman, and it's good. It's a good movie, right? I mean, at the end of the day, but what's hung on it is all fun and spectacular. Well, this Lando series could very well be the Ghostbusters in its own way. It could be the American startup, sort of, maybe not American in this instance, it's intergalactic from a long time ago, but that's what I would do the story on. I mean, how does that guy go from he's in like a fucking tiki cabana fucking room losing the Falcon to Han Solo on some like little tiny planet probably. And then when we see him the next time, he's got like a ball motherfucker with this crazy fucking computer on his head who's like doing whatever he says via an Apple Watch.
What did you say?
Yeah, you heard me. Ball motherfucker. Lobot.
Watch out. Oh,
Lobot has
Tom Segura.
Tom
Segura kind of in the house here.
Lobot has alopecia. I'm sorry. I apologize. I deserved it.
What does Virginia have to do with this?
But Appalachia?
Oh, sorry. Look, I'm a product of public school systems.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. But I mean, but that seems to be like if you were going to tell a very big story with Lando. I mean, you could just have him like I think it was it Tibor who was talking about like we could just have him walking around because he's so cool, and you could, but you could also have him sort of being our Peter Venkman starting some kind of Ghostbusters, so to speak. And when I say Ghostbusters, I don't mean paranormal. I mean just mean how does he end up being in charge of all this stuff, and what kind of scheming would it take to actually get there? I mean, there's just so many opportunities for insane stories about how he ends up being the main person at Bespin. We don't know how long it's been necessarily. I don't know if the books establish anything that makes them have to jump through a hoop and just not talk about it or whatever. But we don't know how long it's been since Lando and Han have seen each other. So you have a lot of time for he could get Cloud City like 10 years before. He could be at Cloud City for 10 years. And then he's like, oh, look at
I
you
like
now.
to think that the gas thing is a front for they're just mining hands. Like that whole planet's filled with hands.
Hands?
So
like
finding,
hands?
yeah, well,
like we're helping
yeah. So 'cause that's why it was really hard to find Luke's hand. There's a lot of hands down there.
Like Han Solo and shit like that?
No, like hands. No, that's Han.
No, I said hand
Right.
Solo.
Yeah.
Hand Solo.
Han. So hands.
Do you think when Luke went to that mountain and he found his hand that was like captured, do you think he put his wiener in it and said, "Now I'm not a virgin"? No.
Well, he did that now. Maybe you brought that up.
I think he went into shock.
Jason's been playing the uncut version of Lego Star Wars.
Oh, whoa. Uncut. You said uncut. You said uncut. Nolan Ryan says the Lando series Disney Plus account was created in March and is currently locked. I think the series is a little further along. They're probably waiting for Glover's schedule to free up. Yeah, they definitely would have to schedule something out with Glover in advance. But I'm curious, like I said, like, does he have any creative input? Is he developing the show? Because I mean, he's like developing Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He's definitely developing things that are on the level of a Disney Plus Star Wars show right now. So I kind of just in a way don't see him going like, I'm going to be hands off on this one, like especially when he has the cards to play.
He's normally involved that way in a lot of his projects anyway, right?
Yeah.
So especially now, he already did Lando. I can see him like having more input in this one.
And it might be a blessing that Solo failed. It might mean that they don't take this shit so seriously in a bad way that like everybody's afraid. Once again, the phrase of the show is paralysis by analysis. That happens with Star Wars. I've seen it, and but I don't think that will happen now because they're just like, he's Lando. Do whatever Lando does. And but I think who was the writer? Who was the writer? He was the guy who did is it Dear White People?
I forgot his name.
Writer. Yeah. If anybody in the chat remembers his name, let me know because I'm going to assume. Oh, he says it. Tibor says it right here. Simeon writing it together. Yeah. Best case scenario is him and Simeon writing it together. I think Star Wars works best when there is a collaboration of creatives. Yeah,
I think that's gonna happen too. You're right.
Yeah. So there was already a writer. So maybe it's a case where maybe Donald Glover kicks back a page of rewrites from what he wanted it to be, and then they revises it into the script. And he's not doing like usually. I mean, let's just be real here. When you have a creative team, usually there's one person who walks around in a circle spouting out shit all day, and then there's the other person at the keyboard who actually does it. It seems to go that way. Usually you don't have, it's kind of like the way it seems to go. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that's sort of what they have going on to some degree. We'll see. Omi-Wan the
waiting
homie.
For the rumors of Grammar or Glover Rodeo to start.
Glover Rodeo.
So once we know Glover Rodeo's on, then it's on.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Grammar Rodeo was nothing that of anything that anybody ever said? All of everything was just totally wrong, and it was the Orlando show. It's not going to be the case, but Bestman says I can carry you through the threshold again after the show if you want another me. Yeah, I do. I never feel more safe than when I'm in your digital arms, Bespin Bulletin.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. That's like my equivalent of sending you flowers. Eric Denton says Moon Knight started today. It's weird shit, man, but interesting. One day closer to Kenobi. So yeah, I'm gonna start the old Moon Knight. I'm gonna watch it with the kids, I think, probably. But I don't have them today, so I'll probably start it tomorrow, or maybe I'll just watch it without him. Who cares? They won't know. Oscar Isaac British accent is a choice. Is it a good choice, Rick, or a bad choice though? Bespin Bulletin. If this was Mando time, we could see Ochi of Bestoon in live action, and I'd bust a nut. Well, here's the other question. That book that's coming out has Ochi in it. And I'm going to throw it out there too. The fact that that book is happening with Ochi and Lando in it, does that mean it's nothing? It probably means it has nothing to do with any of that, right?
Ochi mama. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if a book is coming out, it means they're not delving into it with scripts. That's what I would assume. During the writing phase. So it's good. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I wonder because if it is after, we might see the story maybe more from Lando's perspective than Luke's. But would it be then that would be Donald Glover with Mark Hamill? That'd be a weird thing to see. I'd watch it though. Of course. So Talking Sis says, when were the Lando comics set? I don't remember. I none of that stuff is sticking with me very much these days.
I think that it might be around that time because the Lando's comics have him both young and older, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And I saw Meg's on, so she might be able to.
Yeah,
clarify.
Meg knows. Lobot is a no-bot.
Hey, Meg.
Says Rick Jones. Robert St. Clair says Jonathan Majors has major Clubber Lang vibes from the Creed 3 set photos. Some people are back in the 80s still, so hell, the 90s were just fine. Yeah.
It's civil rights. This is the 90s.
Hey, Echo Base, haven't seen you in a while. Echo Base says, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day so far.
Hey, Echo Base.
Obi-Wan Dahomey says, I would dig if they incorporated Billy Dee in the Lando show and used him to tell his backstory via Glover. I would like that too. I mean, I ultimately like in a way, I'm surprised Glover's back because, like I was saying yesterday, I don't think he needs Lando. You know what I mean? Like the amount of money and exposure that you get from it, the exposure is big. But I got to think that the fact that he's back as Lando and that he's working on something and doing something for it, to me, it's probably a really good sign because, like I said, I don't think he needs it, and so it means he wants to be there and he wants to like do it.
Can you imagine if it's like Lando, like the Wonder Years? Do you remember the Wonder Years?
Yeah, yeah. I want to see Lando's mom. She's supposed to be the most amazing woman ever.
He said she was.
Yeah, I want to know. Was she? Was Lando's mom a superhero, or does he just really love his mom? So
she's the best woman in the galaxy.
James Washington says Bruce Willis retired from acting today. I saw that he has like a condition of some kind. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't get to look it up.
Aphasia.
Mm-hmm.
What is aphasia?
It's the ability to comprehend speech, and it's tied to usually strokes or brain damage suffered from strokes or something. Like
Oh
that.
wow!
Yeah, my buddy has it, so because he had a stroke. He was 37 when he had one. So yeah.
And do some people recover from that, or do you usually not recover from it?
He has, but he was younger than Bruce Willis is, right? So I wonder if age has something.
When you're younger, you have a better chance of recovering. My friend had one. She's way younger than.
And he couldn't use his right hand for like a year or two. He had to like draw with his left hand, and then he's got it. His right hand starts to work back. So
yeah.
Can he feel it?
Now he can, but not for like a year.
Can you ask him if he ever tried the Luke Skywalker thing I mentioned earlier, and if it worked?
You're so nasty.
No.
Sorry. Oh, come on. He's a funny guy, right? He's a funny guy. He likes to have fun. He likes to joke around. Come on. I'm assuming he's your friend. He likes to, but anyways.
You're assuming my friends are funny?
James says, damn, Twinkies is like having a bag of sugar. Couldn't stop shaking for like an hour. James is partying over there, Willy Wonka style. Echo Bay says, do you think we will see a deepfake Alec Guinness at the end of Kenobi? I don't.
No.
I don't think that is where it's going. Yeah, I don't. I'm curious if they will ever do Alec Guinness as a Force Ghost. They did Alec Guinness as a cartoon in Star Wars Rebels. But I'm also like, I've always been of the opinion, if a Force Ghost Kenobi should show up post A New Hope, why wouldn't he show up as Ewan McGregor eventually if he wants to? Because if I was fucking Ewan McGregor and I had that wiener, I'd be swinging that thing all over everywhere. I'd be Ewan McGregor. I'm like, what? I'm a ghost. Oh yeah, we're naked as ghosts now. Look at my huge train spotting sized wiener. That's what I would do.
Look, if they wanted to have real Lucas sized energy, they would if they wanted to throw around the big Lucas stick, they would fucking deep fake Alec Guinness as Alec Guinness just to get you used to his weird looking off face. Like, just do all the 3 films. All Alec Guinness shots are deep faked Alec Guinness over Alec Guinness. And so when they add the deep fake Alec Guinness, it all ties together.
Seamless.
Yeah, it's seamless. Like, that's you guys, you're not thinking.
I can't. Oh, we lost him. Can you hear him?
No.
I think he got so excited he knocked down his whole computer, like microphone setup.
So.
He does that sometimes.
So. Yeah.
Girl,
you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Star Wars Anna says, "Hey there, EBN. Check your email, please." Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble. Star Wars Anna has sent an angry. He's all, no, I am not having a great day, and thanks for mentioning it on the Making Star Wars show. Signed, Santa Claus. Max, doubt it, Coach. It's Ewan in the show. That'd be ultra confusing. Yeah, I as far as I know, it ends with Ewan. So Baymax, I mean, as a last shot after a time jump, which would totally work and not be confusing at all. Plus, it would show the transition into Kenobi we get in A New Hope. Yeah, see that's what brings up the kind of the territory I was trying to get into a little bit earlier. What's going to happen with Kenobi in the future? In the future, we're going to have Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan at some point. We love him, and he likes doing it, so it's going to happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just start to see like the Force Ghost showing up at different ages, because I think we're gonna have Hayden back as the Force Ghost, and it would be an opportunity to have, if they wanted to have Obi-Wan Kenobi show up in Ahsoka as a secret thing as a ghost too, and then they're just like, oh, we're all friends. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have that moment. And it is a moment that they could clearly do, you know?
And they don't have to explain it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If they're at different ages or whatever.
Right. Super GX 360 says, clearly the voice is going to be James Earl Jones. We don't necessarily know. I haven't had that confirmed. It was an assumption during production. An assumption during production. It sounds like a bad, like, let's all get together and be a team. Let's unionize and not work all night. But clearly the voice is going to be James Earl Jones, but also Vader Immortal, which obviously is expensive onto itself, so had to cut corners probably in some places, didn't use James Earl Jones. It was like Scott something. Scott Baio. Zapped. Scott Baio from TV Zapped.
Yeah.
So what was Gremlins 2 about? It was really about me and
cocaine.
Phoebe Cates is what it was about for me. As a kid, I remember watching Gremlins 2 and being like, man, Phoebe Cates is so fucking hot in this movie.
And you probably thought she was hot in returned from that high school movie, something Richmond High.
Oh, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
because they show
everybody loves that
that
moment.
naughty part.
Yeah, everybody loves that.
I was like, "What are you doing?" I didn't
Yeah.
know then.
I used to watch that movie as a kid, like all the time.
Yeah, she showed her boobies.
Yeah, yeah,
She really had a field day.
yeah. I was like, man, Judge Reinhold, I think he could get her. And then they were in Gremlins together, and I was like, look, it's them. They're back. Baymax says Kitster was making an alopecia joke about Wald when Wald smacked his little bitch face. Then Anakin swooped in and beat the crap out of Wald because he's racist against greenies. First world Rhodian world problems. Yeah, that makes sense. I added the first. Junkbox says nobody smacks Kitster. Nobody smacks Kitster. James says, I really hope Alden is in the Lando series. Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Yeah, like I said, I felt like I was maybe a little bit too hard on the Solo show yesterday when we were like talking about it. I'm like,
I don't think you are.
Well, because it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have like high stakes. There's not really, but it's not that kind of movie. You know what I mean? It's not, but it's not a high stakes film. It doesn't leave you with any questions. It doesn't really like in my opinion, in a weird way, we should have been asking what happens to Lando next at the end of that movie, and you don't. And I think that's sort of in a way might be either a testament to how expedited that movie just is in general, or it might be the fact that it doesn't really make you ask what's next. What's funny?
Oh, Meg just said something. Jason
Okay.
was hard. Well, you'll see it.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna. Billy is barely coherent these days. I'm really surprised he was in it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he is okay. Hold on.
It's at the very bottom.
Very bottom. You said bottom. Jason was hard while watching Solo. Nice. Yeah. Every time.
That is so funny.
Okay. So, anyways, I'm gonna try not to skip any of the comments because I like talking to everyone, especially on these kind of days. But yeah, thank you, Meg. Justin Simeon. So he is the writer of Lando, at least of the first stuff. And I'm kind of curious if he will be the final writer on these kind of things. I mean, look at how many Force Awakens. We start with Michael Arndt. We end up with a Kasdan Abrams kind of thing. Episode 8, we stick with what's his name? We stick with Rian Johnson, who's director though. And then Rogue One, we end up with Gilroy coming in at the end and doing a rewrite of the whole thing, making it coherent.
Where's Rob?
And Rob's right here. He's always been with you.
I am I'm into connectivity. I saw this before me. See, I'm good.
You manifested Rob.
You're like, shut the fuck up.
Made one joke about Lucas and they kicked me right out the net.
Yeah.
Prequels fans.
Gosh.
Star Wars Anthony says, I kind of feel like the Lando show will take place prior to Solo when Lando had the Falcon.
Place prior to Solo. Really?
I mean, you could also you could tell the story about how he goes from being sort of a kid faking it till he makes it, and then gets the Falcon and has it. You could definitely tell that story.
I like the way you say Falcon.
How do I say it?
Falcon.
Falcon.
It's
The
because
Falcon.
you grew up with Falcon Crest, Max.
Let's say Falcon.
Yeah. No one ever
I would
said
say the
Falcon.
Falcon.
It was Falcon Crest. Or
Harrison Ford says it Falcon.
Falcon Islands, right? Falcon on War Games.
War
right?
Games. Yeah. Do you want to play a game?
Falcon.
Joshua. Vigilance says Lando series is the way to go. Glover is on fire. The character is cool as fuck, and he has links to so many interesting characters and timelines. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. I am with you there. Bespin says, "Don't shatter my hopes of OG Bastoon. That's my baby boy. Need him to attempt." to murder Grogu.
You know, if this takes place,
No.
if this series does take place,
No.
oh nice, I like
no
that.
murdering Grogu.
If this series does take place during The Mandalorian, though, I'd like to see him and Boba Fett team up to sell Blue Lizard. Right?
Okay, hear me out.
What?
Do you think after all of the years of genuine scooping and accurate reports from me and Bespin, do you think they would give us one day where we could just team up and both report at the same time that Ochi of Bestoon shows up and he slits Grogu's throat? That's happening at the end of Mando. Would they give us the one day? Would they let us just let us do it the one day?
No.
And then say, "Oh, you guys," because
Yeah.
I'm saying April 1st is coming. We could do it. We could do it.
Oh, all over us. The April 1st.
I mean, we have to like write it tomorrow, and then we could both post it
I
tomorrow.
hate April Fool's jokes, man. Gotta tell you.
Me too.
Told you the only one I've ever fell for was that was the Gungan merchandise, the Jar Jar merchandise falling over on someone in a warehouse and killing them. Because, and I've said this before, because I used to work at Playco and I had to do inventory up in San Marcos, and they would take all the Spawn toys and whatever merch didn't sell, and they would there was these giant pallets that were crated 2-3 stories up in the air, like saran wrapped. And then when I was in there, I was like, I'm 6'2". This is huge. If this fell over, this would kill me. I could die by Spawn figures. And when that happened, I was like, it happened. It fell over and killed a man. And then quickly was shut down about an hour later. But for an hour, I believed it.
Junkbox says the comics were set between 3 and 4. Between episodes 3 and 4, I guess. So okay. Oh yeah. So that same classic timeline. Meg says, "Hey Max, love hearts. She wants to devour your heart like Mola Ram. She wants to just rip in and say, I love."
I'm Meg Shabbat. I'm Meg Shabbat. I'm Meg Shabbat. I'm Meg Shabbat.
That doesn't work. I thought it was Ogum Shabar. It's not.
That's what it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's Num Shabbat. Right? So what was funny was when I used to babysit my neighbor's kid or whatever, and he'd come over. It means they would just drop him off at my house, and I'd entertain these kids for overnight. But one time they wanted to play pro wrestling because they were like big wrestling guys, right? And these kid, I got him in a lock, and then I started put my hand on his heart, and I started yelling, "I'm Num Shabbat, I'm Num Shabbat," and the kid freaked out. Like he screamed so loud. He believed it.
So
he really believed it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So yeah, Meg was saying that Billy is barely coherent these days, and I really would be really surprised if he was in it.
Billy's surprised.
But I'm Billy surprised. Yeah, I know. And that was one of the things that I was like thinking in my mind is that I hope if they are ever going to do a digital Lando, how they've done Luke Skywalker, I hope that they have made that deal with Billy D while he's alive, while he's like, you know what I mean, and like I hope they don't do it after he's gone and stuff like that. I always think that stuff just sits better if it's like he made that choice, and then also he would get the delight of I got a huge paycheck for my family. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. Like I hope that if they go that way, that's what they do, because it would make sense. It wouldn't make sense to for Disney as a company.
They probably already did.
Yeah, they may have, but the episode 9 stuff that was going on was they weren't quite there yet. They weren't quite to Luke Skywalker and Mando yet. You know what I mean? So there's always a chance that deal was made before they were at that place.
What's Rise of Skywalker?
What's that?
What's Rise of Skywalker? What is
it's a joke.
Oh God, this guy's
jokester.
Now tomorrow is going to be about saying Kathleen Kennedy has laser eyes. No.
She doesn't.
I
mean, if you just look at YouTube thumbnails, probably.
I'm
So,
on it.
oh, Eric
I'm in
Denton
right now. Hold on.
Eric Denton says, looking at his filmography, it seems Willis retired 10 years ago. Heyo.
Hey.
Sad. It's sad. Who knows how long he's been suffering this, though? You know what I mean? Like, we just don't know. It actually might make some things make sense in the long run. You know, sad to say.
Or maybe he's just an asshole. Star Wars makes says,
It could be both.
I hope they leave Alex's performance alone. Don't Tarkin Leia him.
I agree.
Oh
I
yeah,
think so.
don't touch
totally
it.
Tarkin him. Totally
Just-
Tarkin. Can we
wait.
do that? We got to make that shirt, right? Totally
Tarkin.
Tarkin. Like in the rad
Hey.
font.
How about we all dress up, we all do each other's makeup, and we're like, we can watch
Okay.
Totally Tarkin, and we'll talk about like,
Well, it was
you
good.
know,
It was good for him. It's good
You
for
know,
Rob.
yeah, you can wear slippers.
And by the
on
way, you get pretty close with Alec Guinness in Death by Murder. I
Yeah,
don't want
that'd
to
be
ruin
fun.
the ending to that movie. Max, have you seen Death by Murder or Murder by Death?
No.
No, the movie that basically created Clue.
No.
Matter of fact, Miss Peacock's
What-
in it.
really?
Columbo's in it.
What
Alec
year did that
Guinness
come
is
out?
in it. Before
year?
that, 79. Same writers or whatever, same production.
I'll look at it.
studio. So,
is
yeah,
it called?
it's Truman Capote, Murder by Death.
Murder by Death.
Truman
Okay.
Capote's in it. Like so many people are in it. Yeah, Maggie Smith's in it. Right,
Okay.
Maggie Smith.
Did you guys ever see when Andy Warhol was on WWF wrestling?
No.
It's hilarious.
I saw when
Because-
Cyndi Lauper was.
Yeah, it's about that
Well,
time.
Captain Lou, right? Captain Lou Albano.
Mean Gene thinks that Andy Warhol's a rock star. He doesn't really seem to know who he is. It's pretty
I
funny.
have a great idea. Let's put on makeup and watch wrestling. I'll shave your eyebrows
Mhm.
and I'll fill them in like mine.
Wait, hold on.
And then we can watch wrestling. Wrestling.
You know, Fozzie Bear has the same moves, Jason. I don't know if you're aware of this.
Yeah, he does.
Ah!
Ah!
Right on Tinder. Ah! You can do that to Frank Oz the next time you drive by him.
Tarkin Town. Remember when they burned it? Still can't
Yes.
believe
Oh,
Tarkin
yeah.
Town's gone.
Robert
Robert
in the
Sinclair.
Apollonias.
Wait,
What?
from Purple Rain?
Apollonia.
Look, I only see colors as letters, so it's all the same to me. Like it's a jumble of color that I get all goofed up on. So,
Yeah.
Is that a joke?
Robert
no, I
Sin-
really do. I see
Colors
letters
as
as
that.
color. Yeah,
Um,
backwards. I'm also dyslexic.
Fart. What color was fart?
Brown.
Brown. Robert St. Clair says it's just a different actor. It's not super confusing. I really don't get the confusion. No, I think that's kind of interesting though, like what you're saying. Like whenever there's like chords, like certain chords, I actually associate chords with colors. And so I could figure out the song going, oh, that sounds kind of brown, you know, then I know what the chord is. It's weird. I know.
I just feel
Orange.
like anyone who grew up with the 90s Batman films can really get over just actors interchangeably changing in between films while trying to maintain some coherent universe and not caring, right?
I totally get that. I mean, they did that they do that in TV shows, you know, when they have new actors coming in, someone died or quit or whatever. Jason's
I
getting a little
totally-
chuckle over there.
Bespin is texting me some funny ass shit that I can't put on the show, and it's just super funny. And I apologize, but trust me, if it wasn't that funny, I would just keep it to myself.
There's a Fight Club version of the show where it's just Jason texting himself during the show to make himself laugh.
Jason approves.
He's talking in third person again.
Vigilance says they could deep fake older Lando and Mando's timeline with Glover as the body stand-in and make a thing out of it. It wouldn't be very tasteful, but we're in the Congress 20,000 movie scenario already. So yeah, no, and like if it wasn't Donald Glover, that's where I could see something like that happening. I just think that you got Donald Glover, you're gonna put that face on the screen, and you're not gonna Billy D over it or anything, you know. At the end of the day, because like
He used that as a verb.
you're not gonna Billy D it.
Don't Billy D it.
But oh yeah, Bestman says, why does Ochi have buttons for eyes? Because he's that PS4 game, that PlayStation character, that little
April
big planet.
Fools.
He's
April
he's,
Fools.
Voodoo
he's that
Vince?
He's the little Big Planet guy grown up.
Oh, Sackboy.
Sackboy.
Sackboy. He's got a big O sack.
That's his name, Sackboy.
His name is Sackboy.
Like, I didn't make a joke. This is the Sackboy is his name. You know, before that there was Voodoo Vince. But okay,
It's true. So, the union makes us stronger, says Meg.
the Techno Union.
Hello.
I'm still hard
That's
watching
so
Solo.
fucking funny.
Oh, Bestman,
Bestman.
Bestman, you can't do this to me right now. Don't stop. But
Jason's getting sexed.
oh, let's just say there's a real stupid asshole out there, and watching them do Napoleon Dynamite-esque stuff in video is there's nothing funnier than it. Bestman Bulletin says follow up on the Chapek chat yesterday. Apparently, the Simpsons office, they have an in memoriam poster for him hanging up. Oh no. Yeah. Yesterday there was that Chapek article where you could just get a little bit of the drama between Chapek and Bobby I. Bobby I is like, look, man, I'm just trying to fucking help you, you fucking idiot. And he's like, you were supposed to quit 4 times. It's Chapek's time. And then Deborah Chow walks in and she's like, actually, it's Chow time. And then the Kenobi greenlit, and that's how it happened.
Shit, you're good.
Thank you.
Dude's got 11 months on his contract. They'll just not renew him.
Yeah.
You're
That's how it'll work.
I don't yeah, I mean, you know,
everybody but the
oh, Meg made a Rob joke. Never heard one of those.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so funny.
Would be kind of cool if we did that ritual from Child's Play and put you in a Rob the Robot. And then you were like, how am I supposed to draw with these hands?
If Meg Tilly's involved, I'll do anything you want.
Wait, Jennifer Tilly.
Star Wars Meg Tilly? No.
Either with the Tillys. They're
Meg
both.
Tilly.
I get them both.
Meg Tilly is after Meg.
Psycho 2 or Chucky.
200,000
moving violations Tillys. It's all the Tillys are. I'm happy with them. So,
okay.
Either
She's
one.
Funny. She talks like funny.
Yeah, you know like
Thank
bimbo
you,
trope? It's totally gone. You don't see that. You don't see that almost anywhere. The like bimbo trope that like Tilly used to play like back in the day, that's totally like eradicated.
It's
You
only
don't see
her.
it. Oh no, it was a trope.
No, there's Julie Brown was on there, right? The white one, not the MTV
Downtown.
one. No,
Yeah.
no, that was down.
I
She had to
follow-
do the downtown.
Oh my
because
God,
of Julie Brown.
I want Star Wars Meg to go. Wubba wubba wubba. Goodbye. God bless.
Meg's like, I'm 25. I don't know.
She's
what
like,
you're
I don't know
talking
who
about
the
right
fuck
now.
that is.
Judy Tenuta was kind of in the little thing there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they were more like you're expecting them to be a bimbo, but they're like, hey, you know.
Right.
So-
But they wore the getup, right?
Oh, I was gonna go over it, but I didn't pull it up, but I want to plug it because it's fun.
From
Latino,
bimbos to himbos.
LRM has an article up that May covered about like what you might see at Celebration. It's a fun read, and I'm kind of curious to see how close they come to what we essentially want, what they could and should do, and what they actually do, and if they go above it. You know what I mean? Because they might.
Chapek be there?
Nah, I don't think so.
He comes out there in his James Wood Hades impersonation. Galactic Starship, hey, ha.
Yeah, from memory, I don't remember. I remember Bob Iger at all of like the D23s, but I don't remember seeing him at Celebrations ever. So
Thank you, Pimp Stick Junior Jingles. I like that name.
but Pimp Stick, you keep that Pimp Stick away from our Max. You are not going to turn her out. You hear me? You are not going to turn our Max out.
Yes, you-
oh well.
I'm just
No,
kidding.
she wants you to. Okay, go ahead.
I feel like we're watching Pee Wee Herman's live stage show. Like, this is very similar.
Ah!
Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God. Wait. At least one day we should have a secret word. Or is that what they called it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the
If someone says something, yeah.
secret word.
When we say the secret word really fast, everyone yelled like this. Ah! Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Today it's Chapek. If you say Chapek,
Ah!
there you go. Battlefront 2 almost had a Jar Jar as an in-game commander announcer on April Fools in 2019. Lucasfilm loved the idea, and it didn't happen due to dev deadlines, if I remember correctly. Oh, that would have been fun.
April Fools.
Yeah. I actually would have just liked it. They just kept it too.
You know what's annoying? Someone I know used to say April Fools after everything. And it wasn't even April. It was like December. And like April Fools. I'm like,
hey Max, are you really gonna wear that? April Fools. Like, you're just being mean now.
Didn't.
God,
you
just
didn't.
mean.
That was going to be the name of my variety sketch show in the 90s. Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, no, you didn't.
That would be a good
was what I
one.
wanted. Yeah,
You can still use it.
Been my dream.
DB.
My dream. I want to. I got a great April Fool's joke we should play, Jason. Jar Jar has an OnlyFans. We should set that up. Jar Jar's OnlyFans, and then on April 1st, just put that one around.
If you give him $49.99, he'll show you his gung. And what? Super GX360 says, "Am I alone in getting pissed off every time that Gilroy grandstands? Like he's the only reason Rogue One is as good as it was, just like The Last Jedi." Our Rogue One had a clear visual language that departed Star Wars norms. Well, I see what you're saying, and there is more than one person at play in making Rogue One happen, but it was a mess, and they hired him in. Like, he was like in Pulp Fiction, he was the wolf. They called him the wolf to come in and clean up the fucking blood splatter that was everywhere because everything was falling off the fucking rails. And he came in and he got everything done, and he took Pat out from SNL at the end. So it's kind of just like, it's like that kind of idea. Yeah.
She looked good in that movie. Stop picking on her.
I'm not picking on her. No, I mean, in real life, she was cute. You know what I mean? But she played Pat. She's just like,
She shows up in Pulp Fiction for no reason. It's great.
Yeah, it's just like, I was like, what? I mean, it's strange when you see it like then. You're like, why is she in this all of a sudden? But hey, she's fine. But anyways, yeah. So, but since no one has seen the original version of the movie, we can't really say how accurate that is and stuff like that. But most of the choices that he did make appear to have been the right ones. And yeah, so
I would love to see the original version of Rogue One.
Yeah,
just to see what it looks like.
Yeah,
I want to see the original cut of the Phantom Menace that gave Lucas like the hair pulls, the one that they before they diminished the effects. The undiminished version.
I mean, it was still just a rough cut of the movie, and it's like, and I honestly think that the thing that the thing with the Phantom Menace is that they even talk about it. It stacks. Every single plot element leads to the next one. It's actually kind of a problem with the movie in that if you don't understand something or you miss something, then you kind of lose the movie, and that's where I think it's lost.
It's well written, Jason. That's because I wrote it. It's interconnected.
I would actually say it is overwritten. The plot is a bit overthought, and but so anyways, the thing about it is at the end of that sequence they actually say, like, you can't remove this because then this doesn't make any sense. Like so I think it's actually like his story structure at the end of the day is what's making him pull, and I think that's probably the same. You know what I mean? And they just had to
it was funny.
They had to make it go faster
and more.
I listened to Thundergrunts did the review.
Oh yeah, how was that?
The workup on the New Hope. It's cool. They brought in a guy. I can't. I'm bad with names, but he's cool. He shot the video for a lot of the Star Tours re-release. He had to do the promotional video for that, like 10 years ago when they shot a promotional video for us. And he's working hard to get an episode of Mando or something. So he's a cool dude. A lot of it we already know, some of it you're just like, this is easy stuff. But they do cover a lot of good story things. The one that got me the most was when they were like, yeah, all the decisions Lucas was making here reads a lot like the prequels. Before, people give him suggestions on A New Hope. And when they were like, yeah, did you ever read that Star Kill, this Star Wars Dark Horse book that they put out based on the original script? And they're like, it's pretty much the prequels. Like that's how he writes. The prequels is how he writes, like the original trilogy is how you write when you get 4 drafts and everyone's like, it's gotta have more people in it, gotta relate to it a little bit more.
The Hayeks who did Temple of Doom with them, which isn't as loved as the other Indiana Jones movies either, but they were the ones who added stuff like a lot of the good Han Solo lines, like like the we're fine, we're all fine here, how are you, like that whole sequence. That's all like that was just played straight prequel style, and then they came in and then they added like a lot of that kind of like flair to the dialogue. And but I also think when you get to that kind of like just the ability to like do that, I think it completely goes away. Not because George Lucas was a big, rich corporate millionaire who was inaccessible behind a chair and 15 goons, but because
that's still true. But
but being able to write, we're fine here, we're all fine. How are like that kind of like funny like little moment. Like once Star Wars is this big thing, everyone's afraid to get on the keyboard and add that. Everyone's afraid to like touch Lucas's stuff. I mean, Darabont, Ron Howard, Robert Zemeckis, like everybody who was trying to get to direct and to like collaborate. Kasdan was like, "Hey, this is you, man. This is all you. You just do what you do." Nobody wanted to touch it, and it ended up,
I gotta tell you though, as a creative, whenever I show a project to a friend and they go, "Man, that's all you," I'm like, I'm being set up for failure here. Because I would get that in a lot of short bursts on t-shirts, because you produce so many shirts a week. You produce a giant volume of work. And, a lot of it's jobber shit. But every now and then you're like, here's the one for Rob. Like, this is the Star Wars shirt I would want. And then you get these looks from folks, like, that's you, man. That's all you. And you're like, you should do what you're doing.
I was just thinking about how rad it would be if your previous gig was like Vance refrigeration. And then every single time we did a show, you were able just to like connect it to like refrigeration. Sorry. Everything's pertinent. I like your t-shirt stories. I'm not saying that. Just saying it would be funny if you were.
It's 10 years of t-shirts, licensed shirts. It'd be one thing if it was me making shit on the internet, but like it's endless it's weekly phone calls with like Lucasfilms and Marvel editors. You know what I mean? On every major film, bullshit ass. I mean, the notes we got on Clone Wars shirts, this is stupid. This is stupid. Like, I'd have to hear about would Jawas actually rip up homework? You know what I mean? Like it's a humor shirt, guys. Don't think it's so hard.
They were serious.
Would they though, Rob?
Some folks take it real serious, Jason.
Super GX says, take the Star Wars branding away, and I'm infinitely more interested in what Gareth is working on next versus anything that Gilroy has or will likely do. Well, Gilroy's doing Andor, so if you're interested in that, maybe you are, maybe not, maybe you don't care. But
Garrett is making his would-be Star Wars film at Netflix, and Gilroy's doing Andor, and we're gonna see which one pans out. I think with Star Wars, for me, it's a product of collaboration. So I know they keep saying it's auteur filmmaking, but it isn't. The Phantom Menace is more auteur than A New Hope or Empire or Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is probably closer to auteur, but then you got someone else to do the directing, so it's not really.
Collaborating's fun.
But like again, like Rogue One's, we all know, like at the end of the day, you live and die. If you're in charge of something, you get the credit and you get the failures, the blame. That's the way it is. So Ridley Scott said that when people were like, he was doing an interview once and he was like, someone on his crew was like, I'm so glad you credited me with Jason laughing during the show. And I'm like, well, if when it's your show, you get the credit for laughing during your show.
Fuck you,
like
Bestman.
Jason,
Bestman just keeps sending that
when I
shit.
make
And it's
jokes
so funny.
when I make jokes that don't work, they blame Jason's show, not me. You know, that's how it works. When I make jokes that don't work, Jason gets the credit. Great show, Jason. You know, he might have been quiet the whole fucking episode, or been laughing at his phone all day. Like
talking to Bestman.
Speaking of jokes, I'm not lying. One day I was picking a passenger, and I saw chickens in people's yards, and I saw one across the road, and I'm not lying. So I wanted to send that picture to you because I thought you would laugh, but the chicken had already crossed the road.
April Fools.
No, I'm being serious. And then I asked the person, the person that got in my car, I was like, I noticed that there's a lot of chickens in everyone's yard, and they started laughing. They said, yeah, well, it's the side of town you're on. I was like, oh,
okay.
Well, Jason's staring at his crotch and then looking up at me is the same look I used to give my teacher when I was playing the Legend of Zelda wristwatch my friend let me borrow.
Is that good or bad?
Too poor to get one because you're just on your wristwatch playing Legend of Zelda on the wristwatch, and then they're like, "And Rob," and you're like, "Huh?" And then you look up, yes, teacher. I'm totally paying attention. Bridget Terabithia, what?
Will Morgan says Childish G is more Lando than any deep fake could be. All right, well. I like Will's enthusiasm here. Junkbox says, I thought your third host was Jennifer Tilly. She sounds just like her.
Who, me or Rob?
You. Nolan Ryan says, Jason, you don't do spin kicks when you publish a juicy scoop. I'd imagine you and Bestman throwing some kicks to everybody with kung fu fighting. Man, you have no idea how on you are right now. You have no fucking idea how on you are right now, Nolan. Will Morgan says, L3 is the last bimbo. Lando looked like he could bring the bimbo back though.
Ooh.
Someday I do think that Han Solo's gonna walk in there and Lando's just gonna like have this like schlong in the Falcon, like where R2 connects to it, you know, to hack it, you know, when he falls into the thing. And when he finishes, the Falcon's gonna go into hyperspace and he's gonna fall into the hole, just like R2.
So is the hole fleshy or not? Let's just get that out of the way.
Lando go down the hole.
Bestman's all that fucking Nolan dude was on dead on. Super GX April Fool's sucks for news all around, but especially for gaming news. Be wary out there. Yeah, for sure. Star Wars Mix says it's like when people only credit Favroni for Mando. Yeah, that is true. Like Favroni. Gilroy isn't the only reason that Rogue One came together. But he was the guy who was tasked with bringing it all together and like I think who was it? Who was it? The guy who did Kenobi? He was like, I came in and I firmly told them what I thought it should be, you know. And I think Gilroy did that. I think they needed somebody to do that with them because I think you have like all these ideas. You know you have too many chefs, you know, and so in the kitchen, too many cooks spoils the broth.
Get the fuck out of my kitchen.
Baymax says, I want to know what Max thought of the greasy strangler. Isn't Big Ronnie just adorable?
So he has a lot of dick and a lot of bush. And he is very greasy.
He's very greasy.
I mean, who wants to eat an oily sandwich? An oil sandwich. I mean, he's funny. Jason?
I mean, it has its place, actually. It's not so bad.
So I won't, I don't know if I talked about this or not, but I won't let my kids obviously watch the Greasy Strangler.
Hope not.
But I've shown them clips from YouTube of certain scenes, like the hot dog scene that we showed on here. And me and my daughter, every time we go out, like we like pick up something to eat, she's just like, no, this won't do.
Oh my god, I love your daughter.
I need more grease.
Oh my god,
it's so fucking funny.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
Yeah,
I would love to hear her talk like that.
Yeah, I want to film her doing it, but she has like two moods, and one is I'm ready, and the other mood is don't.
She gonna be an actress, you think, or a comedian?
She's gonna be a little punk rocker, I think. But yeah, give her time. I think
now that was that was a funny movie. I sent it to my brother. I sent it to my roommate, my ex-roommate, and he didn't like it. But he says he woke up thinking about Hootie Tootie Disco Cutie. Hootie,
Yeah.
Tootie.
Yeah.
So
I wanna watch it with Rob, like on the Patreon show.
you
I
should.
think that would be fun.
It's the only way that's gonna happen. Money.
And give him some Vaseline while he's at it.
No, I don't think I still don't think Patreon has allowed us to upload video directly yet, though. So, which is kind of a pain in the ass.
In the next year, whenever it comes out, then we'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's sitting there, Jason. The movie ain't going nowhere.
Well, I mean, I could always just upload it to MediaFire, the commentary.
It's aging like boxed wine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
can I respond to
did I miss something?
Junior Jangles?
Yeah, of course.
Just so y'all, I'm actually going to be working on something Star Wars inspired, and hopefully I can premiere it on here for you guys first.
That'd be fun. Is this what you sent me the photos from recently?
No.
Something different?
That's a separate video.
Okay.
So that hopefully we can show that once that's finished. But this would be my own song.
Nice.
So
yeah,
if you guys don't have it,
whenever you Max, do you want to promote your channel? Do you want to tell people where they could go to watch your music videos and stuff?
Yeah, it's under oh God, I didn't put in my name. It's under Maxandaux, MaxXandaux. Just search it both ways, and my videos will pop up.
Yeah, it's pretty rad because like you'll like watching it like wow, I feel like this is like pretty high art. And then and as you're looking at it, but I'm like, but I can see the Inquisitor right there, or whatever it happens to be. You're like
the little nerd.
Yeah, no, it's like it's the best of both, you know. I like it.
Thanks.
Yeah, everybody should definitely check it out.
Thank you.
Did you hear about Robert Rodriguez directing the Spy Kids reboot at Netflix?
Wait, why are they rebooting Spy Kids?
The joke?
Bro, that's legit. I know, it's Hollywood Reporter. Like, that's Hollywood
Is
Reporter.
That the joke?
Netflix lands new Spy Kids movie. Robert Rodriguez back as director. Yeah,
I think. No. Did Robert Rodriguez have a stroke? Sorry.
Hopefully not.
No, because it's just like.
Unless you're wondering what mood he was in when he got done.
Yeah.
Why would you reboot your own movie?
Well, why wouldn't he just make more? I mean, maybe
like
it's not.
I
mean, can't there just be more Spy Kids doing Spy Kid stuff? I don't know. I mean, but what do I know? Whatever.
Yeah, just make a prequel, Robert.
Star Wars Meg says, "You all don't even know how great Andor is going to be. Watch Rebels.
Yes,
soon." She didn't do it.
She's clapping at y'all.
Yeah, she didn't.
And I like the fact that she's from the UK and she's using y'all, and y'all make fun of me of you using y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So there.
Well, you're from Texas.
Thank you, Meg.
You're allowed to. You're in Texas. You're like the only person I know who's allowed to.
Bullshit. Everyone says y'all.
Mm-mm. Only cowboys.
Yeah, except for you.
You know,
only cowboys and cowgirls.
Except for you and you.
We're California. We say dude. Dude.
Y'all do
everything. Dude is a gender neutral word, and that it gets anybody's. It totally
it's
is.
DOOD. That's the.
No, it's D00D.
Yeah.
That's.
They should just call it Spy Utes.
That's doo doo.
You know what I mean?
Spy Utes.
Spy Utes. Yeah.
Vigilant says, "I really wish they dare to go for the adult political drama spy thriller tone for Andor. Heard they were referencing Game of Thrones and Succession internally during development. That if they were doing that, that would be great. It does sound like it is more in that vein of Star Wars, you know, that dick vein of Star Wars. I mean, as opposed to the other stuff. Yeah. The other side. I mean, it's not going to be Book of Boba. You know, it's just not. It's going to be aiming for that very serious
vein
side of Star Wars. Star Wars vein. Star Wars Santa says, started season 4 of Rebels rewatch today. The show is extremely rewatchable. So much good stuff in there going to inform fans watching these other shows. Yeah, I do think, I will say, I'm with you guys. I watch everything. And Star Wars Rebels. The first time I watched it, at times it had really high highs, and it made the lows even lower for me, because when you saw the potential on the table as they were making it, as they were fucking it up, it was kind of hard to take that. But also at the same time, the general story is it was hard watching Rebels. Okay, guys, it was hard. No, it was definitely like you could see where it could go. You could see how bad it could be. So there was like a bit more. I don't know. It was easier to be more wrapped up in it in a bad way. And now that we know the totality of Star Wars Rebels, and then you know where it's going with more stuff in the future and stuff like that, when you watch it now, way easier to like roll with it. And I'm on season 2 right now, and I'm enjoying it much more than the first time that I watched it. For that reason, just knowing the because like you didn't know how good it was going to get and how bad it was going to get. And there would be times when you're like, wow, this feels like fucking great Star Wars. And then there's other times when you're like, wow, they're really going with that Aladdin thing, aren't they? They were really trying to make the people at Disney believe in Lucasfilm right now, aren't they?
I would you remember my friend Louie, right? The one that I had the podcast
Louie.
Yeah. So we would wait to watch it together because he was in New York and I was Texas, and we would text each other back and forth, watching the show together. Oh, that was fun. And I would cry during certain. And I told you I felt very silly crying to animated series, and this one was a crier for me.
Crier for you.
It was good.
No, it definitely has really, really great moments in it. But I also think it is probably I see it a lot from my friends, and I don't know if it's a good idea to tell people like you need to watch it before X, Y, and Z, because you don't.
No.
But if you were ever going to watch it, it definitely does.
So important.
It would enhance. It would enhance.
So dense.
Well, no, I mean it definitely. I mean, it definitely is going to enhance certain parts of like Kenobi when you know like who the Grand Inquisitor is and where it's going and stuff like that. Because I don't think they're going to spend too much time. Like I said, it helps. But it's definitely like I don't think it's actually like a prereq.
Yeah.
So you don't want to accidentally make anybody think it is, but
it just enhances it.
But it definitely
it's like a breast enhancer.
Yeah. It's after you get 200,000 subs and you go full bimbo. That's what I'm gonna do.
Meg's like on a roll right now.
Rebels is the definitive animated Star Wars show. I might be addicted at this point at Star Wars Santa. Good. I'm gonna roll it back and say Clone Wars. I'm gonna
roll it back.
They call me Clone Wars Ward. That's what they call me around here. But I also think that like Star Wars Rebels though, like the actual story itself, the story elements, the story ideas that are in the episodes are so strong, like the whole time, like every single thing is like well thought out. But the problem is for me is Aladdin going whoa through some of it at times.
I get it.
And like, and and they'll always like they will do the tell not show thing of we're all a family. You know what I mean? And it's like they always just the writing will always add that one extra fucking line. That's just like, we're a family and something of that. We care about each other. And it's like the line that Kanan's just said really let you know he's like a father to Ezra. And it really worked. But then you had to think I was too stupid to comprehend that. And you had to like, so it's like, it's like if they just edited it one line out almost every single time, it would work so well. So that's my thing is that it has stylistic issues because they wanted to conform to Disney Plus. They wanted to show Disney that they could play ball in that system.
I think in the beginning, like I saw that and I overlooked it after a little while. I just had to.
And I can now. I can't, like, that's the thing, is knowing that I'm able to like overlook it and just go like, okay. But to me, it's always a big, like, oh man, like I wish Clone Wars and that made a baby that was Star Wars Rebels. You know what I mean? I wish it had a little bit more of the theatrical Clone Wars stuff to it with that storytelling. And why the next series that they always are putting out there doesn't do that? But
which one? Resistance?
Any of them?
Oh,
why have any of them been the Clone Wars quality and movie style with that Rebels love of story? Yeah,
the money, honey.
Robert De Niro.
Yep.
Yeah, Vigilant says, yeah, Rebels is very good script and story wise. It takes a little bit to get used to the art style though. Yeah, and personally, like I do find the show to actually be one of the most ugly, bare bones looking Star Wars shows. Like the Wookiees look like giant pieces of shit that you would like. Remember that one scene? What's that movie, Rob? I'm trying to plank. I'm having my own stroke right now, where he takes the candy bar and throws it into the pool. He throws the candy bar and they all think it's a piece of shit in the pool.
Yeah, it's a Baby Ruth. It's a Baby Ruth.
Caddyshack.
No,
yeah, it's a Baby Ruth.
Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caddyshack. It was the like the Wookiees all look like the fucking candy bar in the pool of Caddyshack.
It's Thumb Wars, my friend.
It looks awful.
Thumb Wars.
Yeah, it could have been so much, but I could see past that. Like I said, for me, it's just like Kanan will say something that's very loving, or that's like a compliment, and then they will reiterate it to you because you're dumb.
That they're a family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he'll be like it'll be something like, man, I thought I lost you right there. You know, you're like, oh shit, he cares about this boy, and he's all, because I'm like a son to you. You know, he doesn't go that far, but it's almost there at times.
I get it.
Yeah. Every time I watch an episode, I pretty much get something like that. With AI voice technology that they use for Luke and Boba Fett for Vader. Yeah, is that ethical though? When
is it ethnical?
Is it ethnical? When is it testicle? When it's when James Earl Jones is alive, you know. And by the way, I watched I started season 2 of Rebels the other day, and I got to the point where Vader shows up. I'm sorry, but Vader does not sound old in it. It's just a Rogue One thing. It does not sound old in Star Wars Rebels at all. He sounds just like Darth Vader. So I'm of the opinion he could still do it, but maybe they're saving that as like a celebration announcement, or he's just not in it, so they're not going to talk about it. You know?
Oh, he sounds totally different in the cartoon than he does in the movie. Like, I went back and saw one of those Rebels clips where Vader's talking to Palpatine about something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It was the other day. And I was like, you know what?
It?
I'll listen. Twitter, just, it comes in the feed. And so,
yeah, I don't,
especially now that I'm on the show,
I
get rando because I'm on the show, I get rando Twitter stuff now and YouTube clips that I normally would never get, right? And so I'm like, you know, I'll watch this just to hear the voice. And I'm like, yeah, he sounds fine in that cartoon. I'm not even going to say not, but Rogue One's the last one I heard him something in, and that dude sound old as shit. So like, he sounds like a Vader that would exist after Return of the Jedi had he not died. So
Fooey.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. In Rebels, he does more of the New Hope Vader, like a little bit more of that usually. You know,
I do like how they have the red the eye parts.
Yeah,
they're like
every single time. Every time I say that, I get like a really, really like Darth Vader super fan writing me going, they're actually not red, and something. They're like, I'm like, okay, they look red to me though. So you know,
they look red in the light
for me.
Your dick look red in the light. Sorry.
Yeah, you got a red dog dick, red Wookiee dog dick. Super GX3. I believe the color is red Wookiee dog dick. Is the color of Vader's eyes in A New Hope. Super GX360 says, to be clear, I'm excited for Andor. My issue is Gilroy's attitude of being the savior of Rogue One. With all the things equal, and
Super
Gilroy,
GX got super beef with Gilroy.
He wants Gilroy better watch his back, because Gilroy is going to get his ass kicked. Gilroy better fucking.
Gilroy Gilroy's talked very little about his relationship on that film, like very little.
No, but when
like,
he does, he's like, it was a big mess, and I
He's
had
all
to
that
come."
shit was
it
fun.
probably was a big fucking mess, though. Like,
Well,
like,
but yeah,
I-
but that's what he's saying.
no offense to like Gareth Edwards, but like,
His
I'm
name's
just saying,
Gareth.
look at the way those movies have largely come out.
Mhm.
Especially, I mean, Rise of Skywalker being a good one, and Han Solo I consider to be a mess. Like, I'm sorry, it's weird. Rogue One, I just think after the Force Awakens rush job and everything else they were experiencing between the start and stop with Boba Fett at the time, Trank, and like they needed something to feel like old Star Wars, which is a shame because I don't think every Star Wars movie needs to feel like old Star Wars. But if you're gonna have your movie literally end at the beginning of A New Hope, then it kind of has to, you know, like there's no real way around that. So,
Will says the mods from Boba are going to be a Spy Kids crossover. I think we got the scoop. Spy Fetus on Netflix, says Rick Jones. Star Wars big. Unfortunately, we Brits have to pander to Americans since you make most of the online space.
I get it. I think she's referring to saying y'all.
Saying y'all, yeah.
yeah.
to be fair, we watch a lot of Downton Abbey though, Meg. So you know,
did you just? I think we just got our first Good Burger quote. Maybe he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all a dude. Is that was that from Good Burger?
That's good. Super GX. That was a Good Burger joke.
I draw the line at bra.
Bra.
Oh, wait, no, go back. No, she was on a roll.
What's up, bra?
No, go back.
Oh wait,
Star Wars
What's
Meg.
up, bra?
She was being nasty. Unless
oh
she
wait, no, it's down. It's down. She says, "I vain, veiny."
No, you're reading it wrong.
Wait,
Because I was laughing when I read it.
okay, you read it.
Hold on. Shit, where did it go? Oh, no.
You
Veiny. Oh yeah, you were saying about the vein,
Mm-hmm.
the dick vein.
Yeah.
And she's like la vein, veiny schlong, if you will.
Huh.
When it was hard, it was hard. Oh, Jason, you saucy skittle, you.
Hey, I like it when you read Meg's tweets. It's kind of
Let me
fun.
read them. I think I should read all of them.
You saucy skittle. Dell says we have nothing better to do. Super GX says with Rebels, it was a once through for me. Now it's a best of collection of episodes for me. Clone Wars is just plays it and forget it. Also not helping Max's case, but not even people in KY say y'all. KY Jelly? I'm sorry, I had to go
Kentucky.
there. Kentucky.
No, well, a lot of people say y'all.
People do say y'all.
They do. They fucking say it in rap songs.
That's true. It's true.
They do.
So if Jason was hard watching Solo, did he blow his 12 parsecs as well?
Yes, he did.
I tried.
And he was like wiping all over the screen.
It looked like a giant vaginal space whale. You know,
my wife
didn't expect that, did you?
Meg says people keep praising the Clone Wars, but I keep falling asleep during it. Yeah, no.
Meg approves my. So let me reread that.
Okay.
People keep praising the Clone Wars, but I keep falling asleep during it.
There we go. Yeah, the thing with it is that some of it's like so they all feel like little experimental Star Wars movies. So like when they really hit for me, they're perfect. But when they don't, then it's just a little bit like like I said, but everything pretty much after season 3.5, I'm pretty into it personally. But Star Wars Senna says for me, Rogue One has like no rewatchability. One and done for that movie. Solo is more rewatchable for me. You know, I went through this like really hard come down. Oh God, I said hard and come. You're welcome, Meg. I am a
You're welcome, Meg.
Welcome, Meg.
This is such a sexual show. Sorry, guys.
No, I'm not doing any of it. I'm trying to be.
No.
Yeah, because you did it last night.
You're trying to keep a job.
No, I'm trying to. No.
I said that yesterday too.
None of
that didn't happen.
With Rogue One, I had like a really like a period where I was just like, I never want to watch that movie again right now. Like it's really, but then it kind of like came back to me, and I'm like, and I really enjoyed a lot now. I don't think it became, once there was less of that flavor in Star Wars overall, I was kind of like enjoying it more. I'm like all about it now. And so I definitely appreciate it a lot more than I did. I had like a period of time when, like I said, I was just like really over it. But
Santa doesn't like Rogue One?
he says it has like no rewatchability for him.
I rewatched.
Yeah.
Not like the Lord of the Rings.
Oh no! Oh,
I
you.
love that little Frodo.
Eric Denton says
5 hours a movie.
Well, I mean, Solo: A Star Wars Story is a brisk watching comparison, though. I get where he's coming from. But Eric Denton says Clone Wars, more like Clone Wars, Rebels for life. I sent Meg a Clone Wars for life tweet one time, so I had that coming, you guys.
More like Clone Chores. Santa puns.
Rick Jones says Rebels had its budget slashed. The Clone Wars is objectively better visually. Helicopter lightsabers are ridiculous. Yeah, like I talked about, I had before the premiere of Rebels at Comic-Con, ran into Filoni on the street. It was like, yo, Filoni dog, you seen this shit? And he hadn't seen any of the books that were coming out. And like he had like art and he was like telling me stories. It was pretty fun, nice little conversation we had. And yeah, he pretty much was like, I'm very nervous because he was coming off of a show that had serious budget and Rebels just didn't. But for my problems with Rebels aren't even based in that. It's more, like I said, based in the reiterating of the family component over and over again. It's like they're afraid a watchdog family values person from the 80s is in the room the whole time, you know, and they want to reiterate like that family shit over and over again. But Rogue One has no rewatchability. Tell that to TNT, says Eric Denton.
Oh.
Star Wars Santa says, just saying that Rogue One doesn't really do much for me personally. Not saying anything about the general audience or other Star Wars fans. Yeah, Santa let me speak.
I think
for
there's
himself.
like arguing.
Doesn't tickle my cane, Jason.
Eric Denton says it could look like 1970s Hanna-Barbera. The stories are mid. Rebels kept me interested week to week. I don't know, man. I don't think anything ever got cooler than the General Krell arc for me. In fact, the like when you just watch like certain arcs together as movies, that's when I'm like all about it, you know? Like Fives, like the actual like what was it called? Rookies, the arc with like Rookies, and then into the stuff on with General Krell. Yeah, like that stuff is that's movie quality stuff for me.
I didn't like that episode, the Crowan.
No,
because he pissed me off so bad.
Yeah, that's why it was good.
And I get that, but he pissed me off. Like
it was, I think it was based a little bit off of the guy from Friends in Band of Brothers who's gonna get them killed. And I guess in like real life they fucking operated on.
He was a cunt.
They like put him under, took out his appendix just because they didn't like him in real life. But
I didn't like Krell.
Yeah, but Krell was that same kind of similar concept from a different angle.
I wanted to turn into I wanted to barbecue him like shrimp.
Yeah. The Clone Wars has more story arcs that are fantastic than Rebels, but also more filler stories than Rebels. Yeah, they made a lot of Clone Wars in the end. So you definitely get more bang for your buck with Rebels. Agree to disagree on this one, Santa.
Hold on. Jason, would you prefer a Han Solo or Fennec Shand job?
Or a Fennec Shand job? Man, I'd have to go with the Han Solo.
I like it.
I have to go with after the jokes I've already made today. I'm going to go with the Han Solo. Eric Denton says the timeline.
I like Han Solo. He's into techno union.
See, Eric. See, like what I mean. Obviously, Eric is entitled to how he feels. He says the timeline jumping doesn't help the Clone Wars, and I do agree with that. Also, I didn't care about any of the clones. Same issues I had with Bad Batch. See, that's the thing where when you watch the Clone Wars episodes, like in the right clusters of certain like storylines, like when you watch when you start with Fives or rookies, and you watch like all of the connected episodes with rookies where they start off together and like how they form, and then you end up with the General Krill arc. When you watch all of that, you do care. But when you space it all out and you're like watching, C-3PO deliver cakes for Padme in between it, you do lose the thread. At least that's how I feel about that stuff. So, all right. Go ahead, Star Wars Max Meg.
Max reads my messages perfectly. She is my approved spokeswoman.
And then?
Vaginal space whale? That's no way to speak about your mother, Rob. Bet.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Jason Hart.
Meg has no clue about how my mom and I speak to one another. That's being kind. Either way, cut that conversation.
Cut it out.
Hey, it's Even Shevens. Even Shevens is here. She's wise.
I like
on the scene. Yeah, we love Sheev. And everybody should subscribe to Sheev's channel. It's a good channel. Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
So would you say you are not a real rebel?
Oh shit. Yeah, he has some partisan talk.
Max clearly has a British side. She's a C word like it was nothing.
So does Meg self censor, or is she like afraid of like demonetizing? Because don't worry, every episode of this show is demonetized every single day, so you could just write cunt anytime you want. Oh yeah, all the time.
Why? For what?
Because I just said like cunt.
Really?
I said Star Wars dick vein.
No. Well, then give me the rules. I didn't know you can get demonetized for.
Oh, I don't care.
Saying.
Yeah, but that's
first
why
we have to find a way to get monetized before we can get demonetized, don't you think, Jason? These shows really bringing in the bucos.
No, that's why it's better if people are channel members, because then we're not reliant upon any of the ad. Coke or Pepsi can just fuck off. At that point. But yeah.
She said, I self-censor on YouTube, but in real life, I have a sailor's mouth. I love that.
Yeah. I don't self-censor at all. I don't know how. I forget.
I can stop.
Okay. No, don't ever stop. But we're gonna call it a show, and I'm gonna play the first iteration of the new end of the show. It's fucking stupid. You guys ready for the stupidest end of the show ever?
Before I say bye. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Say bye, Rob.
Bye, Rob.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.
Hey!